James Imaging Systems client, Al Leidinger, president of Matheson Manufacturing, summarized the benefit of local.
James Imaging has been a really good partner with us from the beginning.
Go with local. Go with James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner. Call 262-781-7700 or visit jamesimaging.com.
Built Right. One location saves you money.
You gotta get to Built Right today.
Oh, there's going to be a showdown at Fiserv Forum.
Giannis rumbling down the lane, and he will put an end to the madness as he lays it in with a left hand, count it with a foul.
Our Bucks Spurs coverage begins tonight at 8 on your home for the Milwaukee Bucks. News Radio 620, WTMJ Milwaukee.
It's 11:01. I'm Greg Matzik. This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Wednesday, January 8th. Your top story, apocalyptic wildfires continue to rage in California.
I'm Jessica Ty, getting some information about the investigations into the president-elect.
Increasing clouds today, maybe a chance of flurries, cold and a high of 24. Partly cloudy tonight, a low of 14. Partly cloudy on Thursday and a high of 30. 20 degrees and partly sunny in Milwaukee. At 11:02 from the WTMJ breaking newsroom, wildfires continue to rage in Los Angeles, destroying 1,000 structures and forcing tens of thousands of people to evacuate. LA County Fire Chief Anthony Marone gives an update on the powerful Palisades fire.
We have an estimated 1,000 structures destroyed and also no reported fatalities and a high number of significant injuries to residents who did not evacuate.
Officials still unsure what caused the blaze to begin. There are over 2,000 acres on fire right now and 0% containment.
Today, Milwaukee leaders are celebrating the reopening of a fire station on the city's south side.
The red brick building at 8th and Hayes was first opened in 1912, but shut down in 2018 due to city budget concerns. The building is just half a block away from a fatal fire earlier this year, which Fire Chief Aaron Lipsky says would not have been fatal had response times been lower. The building will be recommissioned today, as will a paramedic unit at Station 28, which also was shuttered and then reopened. On Milwaukee's south side, Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
A car chase leads to a crash that damages a library. Milwaukee County sheriffs were doing surveillance at a home near 2nd and Lloyd to find a 36-year-old man wanted for burglary. He fled the home just after 1:30 in the afternoon. Officers began to chase. The suspect ran a red light at MLK and Locust on Milwaukee's north side, ended up hitting another vehicle, eventually crashing into the library construction entrance on the corner. A 23-year-old construction worker inside the building was hurt, but is okay. The drivers of both vehicles were not hurt, but there was serious damage to the vehicles. Charges are pending.
The Justice Department says Attorney General Merrick Garland will not publicly release the full report from Special Counsel Jack Smith, but key parts of it could become public by the end of the week. ABC's Stephen Portnoy has the latest.
Lawyers for Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago co-defendants have argued that releasing Jack Smith's findings on the classified documents case could harm their client's right to a fair trial. The Justice Department now says it has no plans to publicly release that volume of the report, while the documents case against the two men is still pending. But DOJ says it does intend to release the first volume of Smith's report on election interference, and a source says the plan is for that to happen as early as Friday, if the 11th Circuit Appeals Court gives the okay.
The report is expected to detail findings and charging decisions in Smith's two investigations. The classified documents inquiry was dismissed back in July by Judge Cannon, who concluded Smith's appointment was illegal.
Well, how do you beat the number one defense in the NFL? That'll be the challenge for the Packers as they take on the Eagles in the wildcard round of the playoffs Sunday afternoon. ESPN Milwaukee's Mark Tauscher on Wisconsin's Morning News explaining what he'll be looking for.
I want to see more play action pass from under center, and I want to see big shot opportunities early in downs, not just waiting for 3rd and 6. Let's take some shots.
Packers and Eagles kick off at 3:30 Sunday afternoon. Our coverage begins on WTMJ with Green Bay Game Day at noon. Time for news about your money. The WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Kind of a mixed bag here. Modest declines on the indices. The Dow currently down about 82 points. And the NASDAQ is off about 12, S&P 500 off about 6 this morning, and certainly time to rebound and get back into the green after yesterday's losses. For sound financial advice from a fee-only fiduciary, it's Annex Wealth Management. Go to annexwealth.com and click on the Get Started button today.
Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 11:05.
Spas. The Swim Spa Hot Tub and Sauna Show is this weekend only inside the arena at the Waukesha County Fairgrounds. Millions of inventory must be sold. Prices are slashed up to 60% off retail, so save thousands. Save big on new hot tubs, spas, and saunas. Also cold tubs. Plus, see the Michael Phelps Signature Swim Spas by Master Spas.
Hi, I'm Michael Phelps. Join the swimming revolution.
The Swim Spa Hot Tub and Sauna Show this weekend only inside the arena at the Waukesha County Fairgrounds. Visit 800spasale.com.
This is Jeff Johnson.
And I'm Jason Johnson.
And together we're part of Johnson & Sons Paving.
Get your parking lot ready now for spring and avoid paying for extra repairs later on.
We'll come out to your property and walk it with you.
Potholes, damaged asphalt, damaged concrete, standing water, you name it. We'll talk to you about your options and fix it.
Plan a budget, set up an overall schedule with Johnson & Sons Paving.
It's all about doing it right the first time. Call us today to schedule a walkthrough and free estimate.
JohnsonandSonsPaving.com.
Hey, this is Steve Scafidi for Advent. I had some snoring issues that kept my wife up at night. That led to poor sleep and a lot of tired mornings on the radio, and nobody wants that, trust me. Put it simply, my nose wasn't working the way it should. I decided to go to Advent for a quick 30-minute visit, one of their great facilities, talk to a bunch of their doctors. They really put me at ease. After a really simple sleep study at home, in my own bed, they determined the root cause of my problem had to do with my sinuses and nasal passages in my breathing triangle. I didn't even know I had a breathing triangle until I went to see Advent. After a short procedure done in office, I'm back to breathing well, and my wife and I are both back to sleeping through the whole night. The best sleep we've ever had, that could be you. If you struggle with restless nights like I did, take the time to see how Advent can help. To find out how breathing well and sleeping well can make your life and your nights a whole lot better, go to AdventKnows.com, schedule an appointment today. Because Advent knows, when you breathe well, you live better.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. Practice week begins today for the Packers. The team will travel to Philadelphia this weekend and take on the Eagles Sunday in the wild card round of the playoffs. In terms of points allowed, the Eagles boast the second best defense in the NFL. Packers head coach Matt LaFleur is well aware.
I just feel like the defense is, they're humming right now. It's a very talented defense. You can tell that they've got everybody on the same page. It's much more difficult to get some of those explosive gains. So I would tell you that it's going to be very important for us, for our offense to be efficient, stay ahead of the sticks. They got superstars on every level of the defense. So we're going to have to make sure that we're doing a good job of taking what's there and churning out and fighting for every inch on the field on Sunday.
Dallas Cowboys, meanwhile, blocked the Bears' request to speak with Mike McCarthy about the head coaching vacancy in Chicago. And it's a home game for the Bucs tonight. Might want to catch a nap after dinner. They'll take on the Spurs, an 8:30 tip at Fiserv Forum to accommodate national television. Coverage gets underway at 8 o'clock here on WTMJ.
Taking a look at the roads with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic. This is the day. If you need to go somewhere, go. It's looking great. We have no crashes to report, no disabled vehicles on the system either that are impacting traffic, so smooth travels, at least for now.
Increasing clouds, might see some flurries falling later on today. Cold and a high of 24. Partly cloudy tonight, a low of 14. Back to 30 under dry conditions on Thursday, up to 31. Chance of light snow on Friday. 20 degrees, partly sunny in Milwaukee at 11:09.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios in downtown Milwaukee, it's Wisconsin's Midday News, making stories come to life. Now, here are your hosts, Greg Matzik and Jessica Ty.
So there was a time in my life where I lived for the 9 o'clock Brewers game and the 9 o'clock Bucks game in Los Angeles against Magic Johnson and the Lakers. Like, I lived for those games. It was so cool staying up late to watch sports. And now
Now it's like 8:30 tip.
I'm like peeling my eyelids back with tape to keep them open so I can get into the fourth quarter. It's a late start and a home game late start. This is going to be a late night for you.
It is. I know. This might be a game. I'm not sure. We got a lot of stuff going on at home. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to make this one, which I very rarely say. And the fact that it's an 8:30 tip makes it a little bit easier, if that's the case, to handle that. But I don't know. I hope the Bucks come out with a win. Hey, speaking of the Bucks, coming up later in the show, around 11:45, we're going to be talking about one of the Bucks who has a new beer coming out. That's pretty cool. How do you get your own beer?
You start connecting on 45% of your three-point shots. That's a good start here. Yeah. The fun story, we've got that and everything else that's breaking here this morning at 11:11.
And now it's time for 3 Big Things on Wisconsin's Midday News.
Number 1, wildfires burning out of control. There's a state of emergency in Los Angeles County as fires continue to rage. The breaking news this morning, there is now a 4th fire. Hurricane-force winds are spreading the flames, and firefighters, they just can't keep up. ABC's chief national correspondent Matt Gutman takes you to the scene in Pacific Palisades.
Firefighters attacking the more than 2,900-acre wildfire from the ground and the air, but the fire exploding everywhere seemingly at once. A Santa Ana wind event the National Weather Service called the worst in over a decade, turbocharging the fire. And that wildfire sparing no one, no vehicle or structure safe across Los Angeles County, home to 10 million people.
Yeah, looking at this video, it's just almost hard to believe. Looks like a scene from a movie, just flames everywhere. More than 1,400 firefighters are working to help fight those flames and help families leave their homes. ABC's Alex Stone is in Altadena right now, where there are actually homes burning on each side of the road where he is. We'll get an update from him at 11:15, coming up in just a few minutes.
I cannot believe some of the video that I'm seeing. People who are trapped in their homes with flames raging on every side of their all-glass windows. These are beautiful homes, right? Very expensive homes, high in the hills, and they are being compromised. On the ground, it looks apocalyptic. It really does. I mean, it is absolutely devastating what is happening. As Jessica mentioned, Alex is there. We're going to check in with him in just a couple of minutes. Well, how's the egg supply in your refrigerator? Need more? You might notice the cost of eggs is skyrocketing. That is, if you can even find them where you like to shop. ABC's Elizabeth Schulze.
Shoppers are scrambling to find store shelves stocked with eggs.
This is where the eggs normally are in Costco. The only thing that was there was a cart with a couple of boxes of mostly broken eggs.
Rising cases of the bird flu are forcing egg suppliers to cut production, causing shortages nationwide and skyrocketing prices.
So in 2024, I had to look this up. The average cost of a dozen eggs in Wisconsin, $4.78. That's a 118% increase over 2023. I remember around the pandemic, they skyrocketed, and they kind of came back down, and now they're back up. The USDA has actually adjusted their production forecast downward for 2025 because of issues, right? Supply losses, bird flu, you name it. The most expensive eggs you're going to find in the country? Hawaii. Average cost of a dozen, $9.73. You got a cracked one. The yolk is certainly on you.
Oh, jeez. Can you imagine, though? Do you open up
I
the carton?
always look.
Yeah, I always look, for sure. So there's no way I'm buying even a carton that has one cracked. And in that case, you heard that story. Sometimes you open it up and they're all basically cracked. Yeah, no go.
Usually by the time I get home, one is cracked. It's like strawberries, right? They all look beautiful. Like somebody had spray painted them red. So perfect looking strawberries. And then you get home, you put them in the fridge. You're like, what happened to my strawberries?
Well, sometimes there's one in the middle you can't see. It's always like that stinker. Because I do that too. I'm like flipping it over, looking, taking a lot of time to do it. I'm like, ooh, this one's good. But sometimes you can't see that one in the middle. And then there's one, and then it kind of just goes into all the rest.
Yeah.
But, okay, from eggs to strawberries.
There we go.
Number 3, 2024 ended with a significant decline in weekly jobless claims. The figures were released a day early this week because of the official day of mourning for President Jimmy Carter on Thursday. ABC's Jim Ryan has the update.
In the week just ended, 201,000 first-time claims for unemployment benefits were filed, a reduction of 10,000 from the week before and the lowest reading in 11 months. The figure suggests the labor market is stable headed into the new year, although hiring has slowed. That's left some laid-off workers spending a longer stretch in the unemployment line.
Coming up at noon, we're going to talk about the best markets to find a job. Where does Milwaukee slide in there? How about Madison and other places around the country? And what are the hot jobs right now?
Coming up next, we go to Altadena, California. Alex Stone is on the ground as the fires continue to rage in that area. We'll get the latest from Alex coming up after this.
We get it. You're on the go, and life gets in the way. Stay up to date on all things WTMJ with podcasts of every show. Available on WTMJ.com. And don't forget you can stream WTMJ online and watch your favorite WTMJ shows on YouTube. Every show, when you want it, no matter where you are. We are Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio 620 WTMJ.
Hey, it's WTMJ's Greg Matzik. I will be at Potawatomi Sportsbook tonight. Got the weekly wager. Tune in from 6 to 7 o'clock. I'll be joined by Jen Latta and Ben Brust. Hear us on 94.5 ESPN in Milwaukee. It's a beautiful place, great place to do a show, great place to hang out and watch sports, especially this weekend. I'm telling you what, the games are certainly going to be on. Bring some friends down, hang out, watch the games, enjoy some food from the kitchen. Their food is fantastic. They got a great harvest salad. They rotate the menu. The wings are outstanding. Full-service bar, VIP deck. Really, it's a sports viewer's paradise. No better place to watch sports in the state of Wisconsin. If you don't have a lot of time, you just sort of have to pop in, pop out. You can do it. 20-minute reserved parking spaces right near that skywalk. Pop in, use those self-service kiosks, and be on your way. It's Potawatomi Sportsbook. It's beautiful. Located inside Potawatomi Casino Hotel in Milwaukee. Hope to see you there.
No matter how many people are in your family, buying new jackets for the cold weather months can be expensive. But when you shop St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores, prices on cold weather jackets will give you a sigh of relief because thrift store prices mean great deals. And right now we have a great selection. Find great deals on cold weather jackets for the family at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
Ooh, you're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Great companies are collections of great people, and we have great people. They're the ones that helped us build our reputation. But they only come after you've built something they want to be part of.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semper Fi.
If better health, more energy, and detoxing your body are some of your priorities this year, get Active Liver today. You can find Active Liver in stores at your local CVS or online at Amazon or NewNordicUSA.com.
Well, state of emergency in Los Angeles County as 3 wildfires continue to eat up land at an alarming rate in the Pacific Palisades and neighboring communities. High winds have exacerbated the flames and also hampered authorities' ability to fight the fires. The winds are racing. Bulldozers are being used to move abandoned cars out of the area. And ABC's Alex Stone is in Altadena, California. Alex, can you first of all describe what you're seeing now? Because we know it's certainly in no ways over. This is only getting worse today, according to authorities.
This is only getting worse right now. I am on a street right now where there are homes on both sides that are burning, and they're burning unchecked. Firefighters cannot do anything at this moment because of the winds and the magnitude of this fire that I'm on and 2 other large ones that are burning here in L.A. All around me, street after street, buildings are burning. And, I mean, I'm looking at probably 24 homes that are burning right now, and there's not a soul around here. There's nothing anybody can do. It is silent, except for explosions going off as things inside the homes are burning. But it is there's nothing that they can do. And they would like to get air attack up today, but that one was dangerous to fly in overnight, 100-mile-an-hour wind gusts. It has calmed down quite a bit now. You can hear it's not all that windy all of a sudden. But not only is it dangerous, but when they drop water, it doesn't go anywhere. It just flies off. So it doesn't. The air attack doesn't work at this moment either. So they really need help from Mother Nature in this. Hopefully the winds will die down today, but this is rough.
So right now, firefighters are not trying to save these homes because they can't, as you said. They need Mother Nature's help. Are they trying to prevent the flames from jumping to new neighborhoods? How far are these embers traveling?
They're trying, but there's not a lot that they can do in these winds. The embers are traveling a half a mile to a mile ahead of the fire. So a mile down the road, new fires are starting based on this fire, that these are live embers. It has been raining live embers all around us all night long into this morning, just racing down streets. And those embers then spark. We would think that we're safe in certain areas, and all of a sudden there'd be fire all around us. So it's a tough situation where you don't know where the embers are going to land, and they can't prevent that, and that's allowing the fire to keep jumping.
Alex, can you give a sense of the scope? Because we know Los Angeles is massive, right? A very expansive land mass, but Pacific Palisades is kind of where this started. You mentioned 80 to 100 mile an hour winds. That's hurricane force winds that are exacerbating the flames. Is there fear that it could spread and really take over Los Angeles County?
Well, I mean, it's already doing that right now. This is, in these big areas, these are heavily populated areas in the foothills here in Altadena, right next to Pasadena, the Jet Propulsion Laboratory, the Rose Bowl, all of that. So these are densely packed neighborhoods, and one by one, they're catching fire. Same thing in Pacific Palisades, bigger homes there, but they're dealing with it as well. And these are not close to each other. We're probably 50 miles away from Pacific Palisades and 30 miles from the fire that's in northern Los Angeles. So these are not connected at all, other than just being that it's windy and that something sparked them. But these are very separate fires, but they're running out of firefighters right now to battle them.
Alex, can you describe the panic? Because I just can't imagine. I saw in some cases there were people driving who just up and left their cars and ran off.
Absolutely, yeah. In Pacific Palisades yesterday, people had to get out, and that is a pretty tight area. And so people were using both sides of the street every way they could to get out. And they ended up just leaving their cars and ditching their cars and running. And LA Fire had to bring in bulldozers to just push the cars out of the way so engines were able to get in and make rescues and get elderly people out and everything that they could to try to get people out. Here, the streets are a little bit wider. There's a truck leaving right now, pickup truck, full of stuff in the back. People are able to get out. They're doing what they can, but it's a panic for people here to get out as well.
Where have firefighters concentrated their efforts, Alex? You painted the picture of several homes burning with nobody in sight.
Well, this is about life safety right now. This is about getting people out. So making rescues, getting into areas where people are unable to get out, giving them a path to get out. We've had LAPD officers, LA sheriffs who have been trapped, firefighters who have been trapped. But there are a lot of elderly and people who, in the smoke of the night, could not get out. So, it's really about creating a path for people to get out, and they'll fight the fire when they can.
I saw this morning a fourth fire just broke out. Do we know how the first fire started yet?
We have no idea. And they'll get to that at some point when they have time to work on that. They have no idea how these fires started, probably down power lines. That's normally what it is. But they could be human-caused as well. They just don't know.
And I guess there are no immediate reports of deaths or injuries. Do you expect that to change with what you're seeing right now?
They don't know. And that's another point that they'll get to. They don't know of any deaths or injuries, but it's just, at this point, they're just trying to get people out. They don't know.
Alex, do you feel safe out there covering this? This is disastrous.
It is disastrous. We train with CAL FIRE every year. I'm completely decked out in fire gear right now that we do the best that we can. But, these fires are unpredictable, and when the winds kick up, no telling where they're going to go.
ABC's Alex Stone in Altadena, California. Stay safe, Alex.
Thanks, Alex.
You got it. Thanks, guys.
And we'll check in with him again throughout the week as events warrant. Very scary situation. Coming up next, happy birthday to the King.
For over a century, local broadcasting has evolved with the needs of the community. We move past the stigmas of opinion journalism and bring the most relevant news online, on air, and on the go. You have trusted us with your news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Trust us to keep moving with you. Text radio to 52886 and tell Congress local broadcasting is here to stay.
Wisconsin's hometown pizza is Palermo's. If you're looking for a lunch idea, maybe a dinner idea, you want it to be delicious, you want it to be easy, make it Palermo's. Wisconsin's hometown pizza, celebrating its 60th anniversary, doing it right, making the best frozen pizzas you are going to find. It's Connie's, Urban Pie, Screamin' Sicilian. Surfer Boy pizza is pretty fun. They've got a breakfast pizza if you want to go that route in the morning. My kids love that one. Screamin' Sicilian's a personal favorite. My wife likes the Primo Thin, but that's the best part. There's a slice for every appetite. Best way to do it? Figure out what you want to buy, load up the freezer, stick one in the oven, do a little taste test, have some fun with the family. Make it delicious, make it fun, make it a Palermo's night. Festival Foods, Pick and Save, Sendik's, Piggly Wiggly, Woodman's, wherever you like to shop, you will find it. It's Palermo's, Wisconsin's hometown pizza.
During your career, investments piled up. From 401ks to brokerage accounts, it turned into quite a collection. At Annex Wealth Management, we believe every portfolio tells a story. We've analyzed thousands. Some reflect diligence and fortitude. Others, a mishmash of overlapping investments. When Annex reviews a portfolio, we spot what works, what might not, and then provide unbiased suggestions. Every portfolio tells a story. Let's work on yours. Investment, retirement, tax, and estate planning as a fee-only fiduciary. That's our story. Head to AnnexWealth.com.
Deep freeze is here. It's not too late for you to get hot, hot, hot. Fox World Travel has your ticket to paradise with exclusive deals you won't find anywhere else. Save up to $150 on Mexico and Caribbean vacations with Apple Vacations, or get Fox exclusive cruise perks like onboard credits and more with Celebrity Cruises, Holland America, or Princess. Don't miss this limited time to book now and save only at Fox World Travel. Book online or call 866-GO-FOX-GO and mention code radio.
A milestone birthday for someone who some would say is still alive.
Some would say it.
Hey, wasn't Elvis working at the Orange Julius at Brookfield Square like 6 years ago?
What?
Wasn't that a rumor?
That's a story I haven't heard.
Well, there we go. It is 1 for the money, 2 for the show, 3 to get ready. Go, Cat, go. Eric Bilstad takes a deep dive back and maybe look ahead to the king. Elvis Presley would be 90 today.
You know the name. You know the voice. You even know the wardrobe. He's the king, Elvis Presley.
A little less conversation, a little more action.
He had a great ambition, he had a great voice, and he wanted to sing everything.
Dave Larson is the managing editor of the Shepherd Express, and he co-wrote the book Elvis Presley, Reluctant Rebel.
He didn't want to be stuck with rock and roll. He liked rock and roll, but he wanted to sing country. He wanted to sing blues. He wanted to sing gospel.
And that ability to try new formats, to try new music, led to a growing fan base.
For broken-hearted lovers to cry.
He just came to encompass just about everything that Americans like about music. He was just, bigger than any one genre of music.
And that ability to cross genres was enhanced thanks to television.
Take it easy, baby, I worked all day and my feet feel.
He became the first superstar through television. His manager, Colonel Tom Parker, a lot of bad things can be said about him, but he had a very astute understanding of how television could bring the image and the sound of Elvis to a wider public. And that's what happened. If you were a middle-class teenager in suburban America, Leave It to Beaver America of the 1950s, and all of a sudden here's Elvis on TV. It was startling. It really left an impression on people.
I'm not too sure about tonight. I'm a little nervous about a job. And I'm late now. I'll see you later.
Larson also says the king was much smarter than people gave him credit for.
He read books. He was interested in the world around him. He wasn't a fool. I mean, he wasn't being fooled by the music industry. He understood how things worked. He allowed himself up to a point to be manipulated by Tom Parker, but eventually he put his foot down and rebelled and changed the direction of his music.
Quite the combination there. High intelligence with an interest in playing several types of music, a rebel who fought back on the establishment while also taking advantage of the media to become a superstar. So who does he remind you of?
Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift would be the only comparable phenomenon right now that I'm aware of. Taylor Swift was not so much a product of television, but astute social media marketing, which would be the equivalent nowadays. And in terms of having an enormous audience of young people like Elvis did in the late 1950s, she's accomplished that. Will Taylor Swift be a popular, much idolized pop culture figure 20, 30, 40 years from now? I think it's possible that she might be.
Why can't you see?
So Taylor...
The holiday season may be coming to a close, but there's still plenty of time to make it a magical one.
Ring in the new year with something stunning and timeless from Diamonds Direct. Start the new year with a celebration of your love, or even a celebration of yourself. Whether you're shopping for the perfect wedding bands, a beautiful pair of diamond studs that were missing from under your tree, or the engagement ring of their dreams, Diamonds Direct has just what you're wishing for. This year, make your New Year's resolution to shop smarter by shopping direct. Making a decision on where to make your next jewelry purchase has never been easier. At Diamonds Direct, you're guaranteed to get an extraordinary value, ironclad warranties, and the white glove service that we've long been known for. Let the experts at Diamonds Direct show you the difference in a concierge luxury shopping experience. Kick off the new year the way you've always wanted. Customize your experience in-store or online at diamondsdirect.com today. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
This change has leveled us up while being able to maintain the same quality of service that we've always provided, with no upfront fees and 1.9% real estate commission. We're proud to be part of the Century 21 family, so you can move fearlessly with the added confidence of top-of-the-line marketing for maximum home exposure. And that means more eyeballs and the real potential for the highest price for your home. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated. With the ability to market luxury homes on a higher scale than ever before, Century 21 Benefit Realty has taken a huge step forward to tap into a global network of buyers. Maximum exposure to spotlight your unique home with our fine homes and estates marketing so you can sell it for the highest price. And with no upfront fees and 1.9% real estate commission, you win. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated.
I'm Greg Natzik. This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Wednesday, January 8th. Your top story, crime down in Milwaukee.
I'm Jessica Ty. Where are the SROs?
Increasing clouds, maybe some flurries today, a high of 24. Partly cloudy tonight, a low of 14. Partly cloudy on Thursday, and a high of 30. 21 degrees and sunny in Milwaukee at 11:32. Crime down in Milwaukee. Homicides, non-fatal shootings, and burglaries down in 2024 compared to 2023. But Milwaukee Police Chief Jeffrey Norman says the department is continuing to work to reduce juvenile crime in the city.
So when we talk about these, young ones involved in these particular unfortunate circumstances, we as a community has to ask, how do we have a hand in that? How could we have prevented it? How could we have not made that another number?
Chief Norman reminds gun owners in Milwaukee to keep firearms secured and locked and away from juveniles.
Right now, 25 school resource officers are supposed to be in Milwaukee public schools. It's a mandate under Act 12. The mayor's office says it's not the city's fault the district is more than a year past the deadline.
It's not a City of Milwaukee issue, although we will be the ones leading to work to make sure that the issue is resolved.
Milwaukee Mayor Cavalier Johnson says when school resource officers were in place, Milwaukee Public Schools foot the cost during the school year, and the city paid for the SROs through the summer, and said this about the board's unanimous vote to get rid of SROs in 2020.
I think that the school district should not have severed the relationship in the first place. I think they probably went a little too far.
So the fight is over who is going to pay for it. Julia Fellow, WTMJ News.
A vehicle goes through the ice in Shawano County. Officers responded about 6:30 Tuesday morning to a van on Shawano Lake. The driver was able to escape the vehicle but left the van in the area. Deputies eventually found the driver, who said they went out on the lake to deliver food to someone who was ice fishing. The driver was taken to a hospital for evaluation and later arrested on an unrelated matter. The van is still stuck in the lake.
Charged with a felony for driving the getaway car in a deadly shooting on Christmas Day. 18-year-old Quintaris Morris is accused of harboring or aiding a felon. Investigators say Morris was behind the wheel of a car on Milwaukee's west side when his passenger shot two people in a parked Kia as they drove past. 15-year-old Aziel Rivera died at the scene from gunshot wounds to the head and chest. 18-year-old Naya Vasquez died at the hospital. The car Morris was driving was eventually found burned in Deneen Park.
Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited. WTMJ News Time is 11:34.
Winning in the NFL comes down to the basics, blocking and tackling. In retirement, the certainty of protection and income are the keys to success. And as a former NFL player myself, I have experience with both. Hi, I'm Mitch Lyons. Having played on winning teams with the Steelers and Falcons, studying game films helped me mentally prepare for the challenges ahead. Now I star in a new Hollywood documentary called The Retirement Deception to help you visualize and prepare for your fourth quarter of life. You see, you don't retire on your nest egg, but rather the income it can produce. This film shows you exactly how to protect your retirement from stock market drops and produce more income than you thought possible. And it's free for you to view. Call 844-763-2837 right now for your free streaming code to watch The Retirement Deception. Don't risk your retirement savings at the goal line. You don't need to be risky to have a winning strategy. Call today to speak with an all-pro retirement specialist to get your free streaming code to watch The Retirement Deception. Call today, 844-763-2837. That's 844-763-2837. MitchLyonsWealth.com, your best game plan to protect, grow, and win retirement.
Many times, patients have symptoms they didn't know were actually related to their airway breathing issues.
I was suffering from sinus issues, jaw issues, and neck pain. I guess I just kind of had my breaking point.
Unfortunately, this is typical. But until you get to the root of your problem, it's going to just persist. Fortunately, Jody took action, and the results were typical as well.
My quality of life is so different, but one of the first things that I noticed was my breathing. I don't ever remember being able to breathe like that.
Being able to breathe freely is life-changing, and the effects can go beyond that.
Sleeping better, having more energy, and it seemed as if all of those symptoms that I had just melted away.
And thank heavens for that, because at Advent, results are what drive us, helping you breathe well so you can live better.
Results may vary. Most insurance accepted.
Time for WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. Practice week begins today for the Green Bay Packers. The team will travel to Philly this weekend to take on the Eagles Sunday in the wild card round of the playoffs. Meanwhile, the Dallas Cowboys blocked the Bears' request to speak with former Packers head coach Mike McCarthy about the head coaching vacancy in Chicago. And it's a home game for the Bucs tonight. They welcome in the Spurs. Tip-off, 8:30 from Fiserv Forum. Our coverage begins at 8 o'clock here on WTMJ.
Let's get you an update on the roads with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time-saver traffic. We do have a new incident in Racine County. There's a disabled vehicle on the ramp from Wisconsin 20 to 4194 South. Doesn't sound like a big deal, but I'm taking a peek right now at the cameras, and I see a number of emergency responders out there, so it makes me wonder if this is really a disabled vehicle or if there's something more going on out there. But the bottom line is we do have a car that's pulled off to the side, and we've got 1, 2, 3 squad cars out there. Looks like state troopers are going back into their cars right now, so I will keep you posted on this one, but it's something new in Racine County.
Chance of flurries today, cloudy and a high of 24. It might get some pops of sun here during the morning hours into the early afternoon, but there will be clouds eventually and a low of 14 tonight. Partly cloudy on Thursday and a high of 30. It's 21 and partly sunny in Milwaukee at 11:38.
Artificial intelligence, digital health, and mobility are some of the top trends this year at CES in Vegas. It is day 2 of the conference that shows off every cool new gadget imaginable. Allison Freed from the Consumer Technology Association, the group that produces CES, joins us live from the show floor. Thanks for joining us, Allison.
Oh, so happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
Allison, is it true CES is so big this year that Elon Musk's crew is basically giving rides in Teslas through tunnels to get from spot to spot? I heard that. I'm like, is this legit?
There actually is. There is a tunnel, an underground tunnel from the West Hall of the Las Vegas Convention Center that takes you underneath basically, and it'll pop you up right into right in front of the central hall, which is kind of where all the big TVs are. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. It's very, very fun and lots going on. We've got more than 2.5 million net square feet of exhibit space, so we need all the help we can get from point A to point B.
Well, it seems like AI is obviously a big deal. Robotics, obviously a big deal. I've seen this expandable television screen, which takes a 3D TV and puts it sort of on steroids with a screen that actually bubbles out at you. Like I have to shake my head and wonder what is real that I'm seeing and what is not. This is incredible.
I know it is. It really is everywhere. And I will say AI is just something that we can't get away from here at the show. Everywhere you look, there's some sort of AI, which is really incredible. You're seeing products that you use every day now just getting a little bit easier with the help of an AI assistant. I actually this is kind of random, but there was an accessibility product. So if you're blind, if you don't have vision, it was an AI-enabled walking stick to help people navigate the world around them. And it's so helpful. It helps them do obstacle avoidance, but it also brings the world to them through hearing. So it would tell you, you're walking by a Target store on the left-hand side. There's, a coffee shop on the right-hand side, and just really just seeing how technology is coexisting with people to help us focus on the things that matter most to us.
Yeah, that's fascinating.
As humans.
Yeah, and can certainly help. Hey, speaking of humans, we've talked a lot this week about artificial intelligence and how it can help us humans, but what about pets? I hear that's a focus at CES this week, too.
That is. I actually was just playing around with a dog collar yesterday that is completely medical-grade health diagnostics that gets sent both to the pet owner, and you can set it up so that it goes to your vet as well. So if something is not seeming right, you put this collar on, your vet can see in real time, medical grade, what's going on. The other use case that they had for that was if you have to be away from your pet, say it's in boarding, or even if it's at an overnight emergency vet, you can check in and see how they're doing and make sure that they're doing okay. But yeah, they've got all kinds of things. Step trackers, they've got, water and food bowls that are self-refilling for up to a month. And I have 3 dogs, and I just kind of look around and I'm like, okay, I need this, just anything to help keep us closer to our pets.
Well, I think that is part of the appeal of CES. You see so many interesting things that in time will be incredible and convenient and fun. Yeah. But how much of the stuff that you're seeing, that you're talking about, is readily available? You're going to be able to purchase this or find it available for you in your home in 2025.
Yeah, no, that's a great question. It's definitely a mix. So, you were talking about screens earlier, and that, the bubble screen we're probably not going to see in stores next year. But we've seen, curved screens. Those are now making their ways to stores. Foldable screens, those are making their way into stores. Transparent screens, I'm actually really in love with this, where it looks like a window. Literally, you can see right through it, and as soon as you turn it on, it becomes a television or a computer, whatever you want it to be, which I find absolutely fascinating. And then this one isn't as cool or sexy, but glare-free screens, I can't tell you how many times I'm trying to watch something and you see the glare of the lights, the ceiling lights behind you flying in, or all of us working at home on remote Zoom calls, we're seeing our reflections in the screen and getting distracted. So again, that's like a very functional issue to me that is solvable. And I'm seeing that quite a lot, actually, glare-free screens, which I personally am very excited about.
That is so great. Allison Freed we're talking with from the Consumer Technology Association, the group that produces CES, live from the show floor with us on day 2. I was curious as well, and it's okay if you don't know all the details on this, but are there any products, any of these really cool products that have any connections to our state, Wisconsin?
I know. I wish I would have kind of done a deep dive on this. I do not know offhand, but I can promise to follow up. But what I will say is I know that every state is represented here, so I have to assume there are some fabulously innovative companies from Wisconsin that are on site. We've got more than 2,500 exhibitors, to just think of the scale, how many companies that is, and over 150 countries represented here in Las Vegas this week. So it really is truly a global show. And my dad is from Wisconsin. I've got family in Wisconsin. I'm so disappointed in myself for not looking this up before.
Where's your dad from?
He's from Milwaukee.
Oh, perfect.
He's Milwaukee. Shorewood.
Well, yet every state represented multiple countries, as you might expect. Give us a sense for the scope here, too, Allison, right? Convention City is Las Vegas. There's stuff going on all the time, but does it take a full week to make your way through all of the different exhibits?
It really does. It really does. You know, we had about 130,000 people come into the city last year. We're expecting to match or surpass that this year. And it is CES takes over the city. So there's a massive convention center here. We take up every square inch of that convention center. And then we go over, there's a huge convention center at a hotel called the Venetian, take over that entire convention center space. Then there's 2 other hotels on the Strip that are getting used for content and all kinds of Hollywood entertainment stuff. So we try to really break it down where each area has a destination. You know, like the Venetian, actually, I should say, is one of my favorite spots because that is where all of the digital health is, and that's also where all of our startups are. So I think a lot of times when you hear CES, you know, you're thinking of the big brand names, the Amazons and the Panasonics and the Googles, but there are more than 1,400 startups at CES, and those are the booths that I just love to visit because these are people that are coming in with a hope and a dream, and some of the stuff they have is so wildly creative. It's just the energy over there. I haven't been there yet this year, and I'm like dying to get over there because I feel like my show isn't complete until I've made it over to Eureka Park, home to CES startups.
Allison, we only have about 20 seconds left here, but I know there's some celebs walking around. I could picture Mark Cuban there. Who else is going to be there?
You know what? They actually do a casting call for Shark Tank here. That's how innovative everything is. They scour the show floor for Shark Tank products. So yeah, Mark Cuban, a very good friend to CES. Lenny Kravitz was here yesterday. I think a few more celebs. Martha Stewart comes every year. Snoop Dogg usually makes an appearance. Yeah, it's the place that everyone wants to be come January, and we are just thrilled to see it all come to life this year.
Awesome. Thanks so much for the inside scoop live from the show floor. That's Allison Freed with the Consumer Technology Association. We appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 11:46.
I know you have a great dog, right? But you know there's room for improvement. At Sit Means Sit Dog Training, we can help. Our attention-based training system uses modern technology to help you better communicate with your dog, even in high distraction. When you schedule a free consultation with us, you will have the opportunity to see our training in action and meet for yourself our happy dogs off leash and under control. Contact Sit Means Sit today at 262-361-3641 or find us on the web at sitmeansitwaukesha.com to schedule your free consultation so you can have a happy, confident, and obedient dog.
Special Milwaukee Auto Show Advance Discount Ticket Offer has been extended to January 22nd. Turns out a lot of people want to come to the auto show. Get your auto show tickets now at a big discount. Buy a single ticket, or how about a pair of tickets for date night? Or you can buy a family 4-pack and take everybody. They can see all the latest vehicles, including cars, trucks, SUVs, luxury cars, and much more. For advanced discount tickets, go to autoshowmilwaukee.com. That's autoshowmilwaukee.com.
James Imaging Systems, your local document imaging partner. JamesImaging.com.
Spas. The Swim Spa Hot Tub and Sauna Show is this weekend only inside the arena at the Waukesha County Fairgrounds. Millions of inventory must be sold. Prices are slashed up to 60% off retail, so save thousands. Save big on new hot tubs, spas, and saunas. Also cold tubs. Plus, see the Michael Phelps Signature Swim Spas by Master Spas.
Hi, I'm Michael Phelps. Join the swimming revolution.
The Swim Spa Hot Tub and Sauna Show this weekend only inside the arena at the Waukesha County Fairgrounds. Visit 800spasale.com.
Hey, it's Jason Wilde for Excel Custom Decks. I at least like to think I'm an expert when it comes to football, but I know Excel are truly experts when it comes to the art of deck building. With the finest materials and products combined with their superior craftsmanship, they'll deliver exceptional quality and value on everything from backyard decks to pergolas and outdoor kitchens. If you can dream it, Rob and his family can build it. Family-owned Excel Custom Decks delivers decking excellence by design. Visit excelcustomdecks.com to learn more.
3, 2, 1,
get up! Get out of here! Gone! Back at the track! Gone!
To the warning track, and he looks up, it is gone!
Turns around, watches it, it is gone!
It's time for baseball on the Brewers Radio Network. Presented by
Mineshaft Restaurant
American
gift cards make perfect year-round gifts as everyone loves a free meal. Through January 15th, buy a $100 gift card, get a $20 gift card free. Order online at mineshaft.restaurant.com. Big food, big fun. It's the Mineshaft.
Get started with your no-hassle refi checkup by clicking on the blue button at Accunet.com.
Broken Bat Brewing in Milwaukee is out with a cool new beer. It's called Green Light, a beer inspired by Bucks guard A.J. Green. How does a local brewery team up with a Buck? Well, let's find out. Tim Pauly, owner and president of Broken Bat Brewing, joins us live in the studio. This is so cool. Thanks for joining us.
Well, thanks for having me. This is awesome.
So how did you decide to team up with A.J. Green?
Honestly, it was a random email back in early September from one of his player reps, and I'm always hesitant. You never know if it's like a catfish opportunity or something like that when a cool opportunity sounds too good to be true. But, sure as the day is long, we got talking and started throwing ideas off the wall. And by October, we were like, let's do a custom beer. And AJ was all on board. And we looked at the calendar, and January 18th stuck out right away. And we're almost there.
That is amazing. You said this goes back to September. So Green was on the team, but he's sort of become a different and more impactful player for the Bucks this year. He's got his own nickname, the Dairy Bird. He's knocking down three-pointers at a percentage higher than most people in the NBA. It's been a great season for him so far. He's kind of an understated guy on the team last year. Maybe people didn't remember that. So talk about being ahead of the game here, right? I mean, he's really launched into a nice, solid role here for the Bucks.
Yeah, I mean, as they say, shoot or shoot. So we kind of took our shot with him, and his excitement around it and his team's excitement really made us excited, and put a ton of effort into it. And speaking of his three-point percentage, we actually made the beer 4.8% to match his 48% three-point shooting percentage at the time. So,
that's cool.
Kind of a fun Easter egg, and we threw in some font graphics around Northern Iowa where he went to school, and we really made it top to bottom completely customized. And yeah, AJ's just super good dude and super good shooter, and we're happy he's got a role in the Bucks.
So you really made it customized. How much impact did he actually have with the beer?
Oh, a lot. He gave us lists of beers that he likes and him and his wife enjoy. And we took that. I took that back to Nick, our head brewer, and was like, look, let's throw this all into a pot, make something close. And we decided on a cream ale, nice and light, easy drinking, no bite, a beer that you drink during a Bucks game. And he gave us the quote-unquote green light, and here we are.
So there is a picture of Green hoisting a three-pointer on the can. I noticed I don't see the word Bucks on that. So that you said his people reached out to you. His people are not the Bucks. So where do the Bucks come into play on making sure this all goes through?
Yeah, we just made sure to follow, some of the trademark laws out there and make sure, we took off identical uniform looks and any big brands that might have been in that. And our graphic designer is extremely talented, as you can tell. But, when we got the Players Association from the NBA on board and the Bucks on board, and we're getting emails that this is a really cool opportunity for him, again, it just makes us feel like made the right choice and working with the right guy, and nice to have support from some pretty big brands in the national arena with the Bucks and Players Association.
As we talk about that, my mind kind of gets going into the beers that they sell during the Bucks games. I'm sure that's not easy to get into Fiserv. But is that something that could be coming down the road?
I will say that we are efforting at the moment, but a lot of red tape. It's big business over there at Fiserv and AmFam and Lambeau. Those are huge establishments, and as I was told a few months ago, money talks. When we try to get a few things moving, but we are efforting to potentially have a few opportunities to sell at the stadium this year.
So at your tap house, which is so much fun, your tap house is amazing, right? A multi-level space, great event space if you want to have a party there. You got the wiffle ball field. Remember that? It's always a lot of fun. You're true to your name, Broken Bat, in this wonderful space you have near the 3rd Ward. Is it available on tap and in cans at your location? If people want to come in and buy a 4-pack ticket with them, can they do that kind of stuff?
Yep. So starting on the 18th, next Saturday. So about 10 days from now, we're going to have it in cans only. So we think the can is so sharp. That's kind of our marketing tool around it.
Okay.
But we're going to be releasing it that day, and then AJ is going to be on site from 7 to 9 p.m. Truly just a man of the people. So he's going to be hanging out, serving some beers across the bar, taking some pictures, all that good stuff. But yeah, it's starting on Saturday the 18th.
Can he be drinking the beer there at that party? Sometimes I wonder. Okay, with the Bucks, do they want that? But it's his beer. I feel like he's got to pop one can, right?
I mean, he's an adult, and it's between it's between a couple home games, so we'll see. But he's a super good dude, and he's also given us kind of the freedom to market it, and we've talked about kind of a responsible drinking message around it too. He wanted to make sure that was part of the program, so we want to continuously talk about that and make sure that people are enjoying responsibly. But yeah, being a close neighbor to us downtown and being, again, as excited as he is about it, I would imagine he'll probably pop one that night.
Very competitive industry, you know this, and there's always change, especially here in Milwaukee. We've seen some recent changes. Yeah. You've expanded over the last couple of years, right? You've moved from a smaller sort of basement level space, if you want to call it that, near Summerfest, and now into your location in the 3rd Ward, right around where it meets the 5th Ward. The competitive landscape of the craft brew business in Milwaukee, how would you describe it?
Yeah, it is competitive. There's a camaraderie around us for the most part, which is really cool. So we're all kind of looking out for each other. But at the same time, whether it's wallets are drying up, people are spending their money in different ways, you really have to focus on making sure that every time a customer comes in, the experience is worth coming back for. And that's sort of been our shift in the mindset of, 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago, people were just showing up and they just would come, and craft beer was the only thing we had available 5, 6 years ago. Now we have full bar. We have a ton of NA options that we make in-house. We serve wine, our beer, obviously. But, yeah, it's different, and you just have to be nimble and make sure the beer is good and the experience is great. And then I think we'll get people coming back.
Are you surprised with some of the recent changes? I mean, because in the case of a Good City, as an example, being bought out by Explorium, I mean, Good City's been around for a long time now. Milwaukee was really part of that craft brewery boom, like 8 years ago or something like that, when all of a sudden just craft brewing exploded. Are you surprised to see some of the changes or not really?
Yeah, surprise is a good word. Honestly, the last couple of years has been so different just coming out of the pandemic that we've been hyper-focused on what we're doing. Obviously, when we see news like that, it's heartbreaking. We know what goes into running a brewery, and what the folks at Good City did over 8 years was spectacular. But Mike and his team at Explorium and his wife Joan, they're amazing at what they do too. So there's sadness, but there's also excitement on the flip side. So yeah, surprising is the right word, but man, we are just laser focused on what Broken Bat's got going on, and we're really excited for 2025.
Well, always a fun place to hang out. I was there for Jeff Levering's 40th birthday.
Yeah,
We've done some company events with Good Karma Brands over there, too, and have popped in with my wife just to grab a beer on a day we were headed to Pfizer. So we always have a great time, great beer, great vibes. Appreciate you coming in, too. This is very cool. So available January 18th at Broken Bat Brewery. It's a Green Light Cream Ale, 4.8% ABV. We'll see if AJ can get his 3-point percentage up.
Get it back up there.
You should scale it, right? If he gets to 50%, you might need a new offering.
We'll redo it. If he gets above 50, we'll redo it.
Well, there you go. Tim, thank you for coming in. Tim Pauly's the owner and president of Broken Bat Brewing. Appreciate your time.
Thanks, guys.
It's 11:57 news coming up.
Wisconsin's afternoon news is here for you, bringing you the latest headlines with John McCure.
Wanted to get you some information on the shooting suspect in that United Healthcare CEO shooting that took place in New York.
And diving into the details with Julia Fellow.
Charged with murder as an act of terrorism. Kind of bizarre when I saw that.
Tune in to Wisconsin's afternoon news, where your day's story unfolds. Weekdays from 3 to 6 p.m. Only here on WTMJ.
Hey, it's WTMJ's Greg Matzig. If you're in the market for replacement windows, siding, roofing, doors, really anything to help beautify your home's exterior, want to turn you on to Siding Unlimited. They have done so many projects for us over the years, and they are consistent in that they knock it out of the park. Great products and great installation team. That's the difference with Siding Unlimited. There's a lot of places that have great products, but if you're not getting the right kind of installation, you might be back to square one. Siding Unlimited understands this. They take it very seriously. They've got the people to get the job done right. Very clean, very professional. They do the work for you. They'll do it for you like they've done for me. Siding Unlimited, located in Brookfield. Check them out online at sidingunlimited.com, or take a trip out to their showroom. Bring some ideas, bring some pictures. Let them walk you through the process and how you can beautify and protect your home's exterior. Truly siding and a whole lot more. It's sidingunlimited.com.
People saw me and assumed I couldn't work. They only saw a disability, but I was ready to work. I am dependable, trainable, and productive. Then someone decided to believe in me and say yes.
And once you say yes, Thinkability Wisconsin will be there, providing transition and workforce support for people with disabilities and their employers to help shape a better future for all. It all starts when you say yes. Join the movement at thinkabilitywi.org.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee. From the Annex Wealth Management Studios, this is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
This change has leveled us up while being able to maintain the same quality of service that we've always provided, with no upfront fees and 1.9% real estate commission. We're proud to be part of the Century 21 family, so you can move fearlessly with the added confidence of top-of-the-line marketing for maximum home exposure. And that means more eyeballs and the real potential for the highest price for your home. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated. First off, our 1.9% commission structure helps get their foot in the door, and that's why agents like working here. But what they really like is having the strongest marketing tools available, with the resources to help them sell homes at the highest prices to satisfy their clients. Century 21 Benefit Realty offers what agents like most, and that's to help them be successful. If you really want to believe in the business model that you're representing, give me a call. I'm Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty. Call me, and let's talk about your future. Each office is independently owned and operated.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here for Tri-County Contracting. You want to know the price of a new roof on your home today? Well, it's easy. Just go to TriCountyContractingWI.com, click on the Instant Roof Quote button, put in your address and email, click the Show My Roof Price, and there you go. Zero wait time. There's your quote. You shop online for everything else. Who says you can't shop online for a new roof? Tri-County Contracting at WI.com. It's worry-free roofing, siding, and windows. Tri-County Contracting, WI.com.
I'm Brett Matschke, and you're due for service.
Richlands.
Oh, there's gonna be a showdown at Fiserv Forum.
Giannis rumbling down the lane, and he will put an end to the madness as he lays it in with a left hand, count it with a foul.
Our Bucks Spurs coverage begins tonight at 8 on your home for the Milwaukee Bucks. News Radio 620, WTMJ Milwaukee.
At 12:01, I'm Greg Matzik. This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Wednesday, January 8th. Your top story, arrested for making school threats.
I'm Jessica Ty. A big ask for the High Court.
Increasing clouds today, flurries possible, a high of 24, partly cloudy tonight and a low of 14, partly cloudy on Thursday and a high of 30. 20 degrees and mostly cloudy in Milwaukee at 12:02. From the WTMJ Breaking Newsroom, Milwaukee police arrest a teen for making threats against Pulaski High School. A 14-year-old boy allegedly put the threat on social media to, quote, shoot up the school. Charges are pending.
Crime continues to go down in the city of Milwaukee. Violent crimes like homicides, burglary, and aggravated assault were all down in 2024 compared to the year before. But Milwaukee Police Chief Jeffrey Norman says more can be done to reduce gun-related crimes. Here he is.
Yes, we had double-digit reduction, but it could be even more. Many of those homicides were a kid with a handgun, unfortunately using it against another child. Absolutely preventable and absolutely unacceptable.
Chief Norman says Milwaukee Police Department will continue to work with community partners to reduce gun violence in the city.
President-elect Trump is asking the Supreme Court to halt his sentencing in the New York hush money case. Attorneys arguing sentencing him would damage the institution of the presidency. ABC's Aaron Katursky.
The former president's attorneys submitted their application for emergency relief to Justice Sonia Sotomayor. She has ordered the Manhattan District Attorney's Office to respond by tomorrow morning, which the DA's office said it will. It's not going to comment otherwise. And it's possible the Supreme Court asks for a few days to consider things, maybe pushes the sentencing, or it's possible Trump is outright denied.
Trump is expected to be sentenced on Friday after being found guilty on 34 counts of falsifying business records related to a payment made to adult film actress Stormy Daniels.
The hum of fire engines is back in Milwaukee's Lincoln Village neighborhood today. Station 31 just reopened for the first time in 7 years.
The overarching theme Wednesday was of service to the surrounding neighborhood. Services Alderwoman Marina Dimitrievich says have been sorely missed since the firehouse originally closed in 2018.
How often in any kind of government do we get to celebrate increasing services to our constituents?
As a fitting end to the ceremonies, firefighter Ryan McMiniman, injured in a blaze just down the street last April, cut the red ribbon to reopen Station 31. On Milwaukee's South Side, Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
Well, how do you beat the number one defense in the NFL? That'll be the challenge for the Packers as they take on the Eagles in the wild card round of the playoffs on Sunday. ESPN Milwaukee's Mark Tauscher explains what he's looking for.
I want to see more play action pass from under center, and I want to see big shot opportunities early in downs, not just waiting for 3rd and 6. Let's take some shots.
Packers and Eagles kick off at 3:30 on Sunday. Our game day coverage begins with Green Bay Game Day at noon. Time for news about your money. The WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Lots of red, but time to get a little rebound in order here. The Dow is currently down about 45 points at 42,483. NASDAQ off about 50 today at 19,437. Modest declines for the S&P 500, down about 5.5 points at 5903. For sound financial advice from a fee-only fiduciary, it's Annex Wealth Management. Go to annexwealth.com and click on the Get Started button today.
Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 12:05.
This report sponsored by the Fireside Theater, the ultimate Elvis tribute musical.
Which one for the money, two for the show, three to get ready now, go cat go.
Elvis is back in the building at the Fireside Theater in Fort Atkinson, and you've never seen anything like it.
Since my baby left me, I found a new place to dwell.
Back in the building features a rotating cast of the finest award-winning Elvis tribute artists and Anne Margaret, all backed by an incredible live band and ensemble. Experience the eras of Elvis in this legendary feel-good show. From the 50s to the movies, the 60s comeback to the rockin' 70s. It's all here.
Oh, see right up.
Every ticket to the Fireside includes a superb dinner prepared by award-winning chefs and a chance to visit their spectacular gift shops. Hurry, tickets are going fast. Call 920-563-9505 or visit firesidetheater.com. Elvis back in the building, live on stage, January 9th through February 23rd. Only at the Fireside Theater.
For over a century, local radio has evolved with the needs of the community. From politics to pop culture, we keep you informed, bringing you the most relevant news, online, on air, and on the go. You have trusted us with your news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Trust us to keep moving with you. Text radio to 52886 and tell Congress local broadcasting is here to stay.
Time for a WTMJ sports update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. Practice week underway for the Packers in Green Bay. The team will travel to Philadelphia this weekend and face the Eagles Sunday in the wild card round of the playoffs. In terms of points allowed, the Eagles boast the second best defense in the NFL.
We're going to have to make sure that we're doing a good job of taking what's there and churning out and fighting for every inch on the field on Sunday.
Packers head coach Matt LaFleur will go live to Green Bay and check in with ESPN Wisconsin's Jason Wilde coming up in about 10 minutes. Dallas Cowboys blocked the Bears' request to speak with Mike McCarthy about the head coaching vacancy in Chicago. And the Bucs take on the Spurs tonight at Fiserv Forum, 8:30. The tip coverage gets underway at 8 o'clock on WTMJ.
Beep, beep, tie with the traffic here. We're taking a look at the roads with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic. And I'm mixing it up because there's nothing bad on the roads, which is good news. We like that. No big crashes and no disabled vehicles that are impacting the system either.
Might see some flurries today. Clouds will be on the increase and a high of 27 degrees. Tomorrow's high, it's going to warm up a little bit once we get into the later part of the week. So high of 30 on Thursday, high of 31 on Friday, back to 30 on Saturday. Right now, 20 degrees, mostly cloudy in Milwaukee at 12:08.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios in downtown Milwaukee, it's Wisconsin's Midday News, making stories come to life. Now, here are your hosts, Greg Matzik and Jessica Ty.
Tuesday edition of Wisconsin's Midday News is...
It's Wednesday.
A thing of the past.
All of a sudden, when you said
now
that,
we
though,
have Wednesday's edition.
I had to rack my brain. I was like, I don't think that's right, but it could be right. That's how this week has felt. Even Gina, our producer, was saying that earlier before the show this morning.
I thought by Monday I would have forgotten everything that all that happened during the holiday season, right? Where I was just, I don't know what day it is. I have no idea what day it is. I had time off. I wasn't feeling well. We had the holidays.
Yeah,
and New
those
Year's,
weeks were weird.
That was kind of a mess. Apparently, I've not calibrated myself or recalibrated myself. So I remain discombobulated here.
Let's recombobulate. It's Wednesday.
Thankfully, we have Jessica to help us through till 1 o'clock. Some big stories that we're following here as we flip to the noon hour on a Wednesday.
It's now at noon on Wisconsin's Midday News.
An exit interview with the president. President Joe Biden sitting down with USA Today to talk about regrets, precedent, and legacy. CBS's Linda Kenyon has the story.
In a sit-down with the newspaper, the president said he believes he could have won the election, but he also said he is unsure if he would have had the stamina to serve another 4 years. When it comes to preemptive pardons for former Representative Liz Cheney, Dr. Anthony Fauci, or others, he said he has not yet decided. In addition, he said he told President-elect Donald Trump during their face-to-face post-election meeting in the Oval Office that Trump should not settle scores when he takes over. He also described Trump as very complimentary of Biden's record. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, Washington.
Biden also said he hopes to leave a presidential legacy defined by two fronts. One, that he had a plan how to restore the economy and reestablish America's leadership. And two, that he did it with honesty and integrity and said what was on his mind.
Number 2, wildfires in Los Angeles raging and out of control. Now 4 confirmed fires, according to officials in Los Angeles, just destroying homes and historic landmarks, forcing tens of thousands of people to evacuate. CBS Los Angeles reporter Amanda Starantino is in a Pasadena neighborhood.
This is literally a horror movie here, and these are people's real lives. Thankfully, people are out of here. We don't have any word on anyone hurt.
L.A. County Fire Chief Anthony Maroney speaking at a news briefing with an update on the Palisades fire.
We have an estimated 1,000 structures destroyed, and also no reported fatalities and a high number of significant injuries to residents who did not evacuate.
And officials still don't know what caused the fire to begin. So a couple things here. It's an eerie juxtaposition. There's imagery of folks just walking down Ocean Avenue with this incredible plume of smoke in the distance. And they've got joggers and bikers, people walking dogs, as the smoke from the Palisades fire drifts over the Pacific and heads towards Santa Monica. The sky is turning color. You can hear sirens in the distance, but people are sort of going about their day. Now, if you want to localize this at all, the area where the fires are burning in Malibu area as well, that's where Christian Yelich lives, and that's where Ryan Braun lives. And I sent a text to Ryan Braun and have not had any response, not sure if they evacuated. But yes, Christian Yelich said that's kind of the area he calls home. And right now it's uncontrollable. It's uncontrollable.
It is, and I just wonder about these injuries, how quickly those numbers are going to go up. And this is a fast-changing story. So now there are 2 deaths being reported as basically you have these uncontrollable wildfires just ravaging Southern California. The images, too, to see of people who just, they were driving, trying to leave, but all of a sudden realized they weren't going to be able to get through, got out of their cars, jumped out of the cars, and started running.
Yes.
I mean, that is just a panic that you can't imagine unless you're in it.
Well, and if they left the vehicle, more than likely they're not getting it back. Bulldozers are going down the road to clear paths for emergency vehicles and first responders. Like it's a very densely populated area. It's not, the forest of California. There's homes all over the place.
Very scary. Another big story today, economists anticipate the job market to remain strong in 2025, but your chances of finding employment depend largely upon where you're looking. ABC's Jim Ryan looks at a new ranking of top employment markets.
Personal finance company WalletHub has looked at 182 U.S. communities, their unemployment rates, monthly salaries, and availability of affordable housing to come up with the best places to find work. Topping the list, Scottsdale, Arizona, for its low unemployment and high median incomes. Pittsburgh comes in second, followed by Columbia, Maryland. One of the hardest places to find work, says WalletHub, is Memphis. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
So where does Milwaukee rank? Basically, smack dab in the middle.
Okay.
When it comes to the best places to find a job, this new WalletHub ranking puts Milwaukee 99 out of 182 markets. The Wisconsin city that you'll find it easier to land a job? Madison. It was interesting. I was going through the list. I wasn't really expecting that. All of a sudden, getting close to the top. There's the state capital coming in at 15, Madison does.
Tech, university, insurance, some standout sectors, I guess, if you will, in the job market there. A lot of banking as well.
Yeah. And meanwhile, LinkedIn says work related to artificial intelligence is a hot commodity. I think that's no surprise to us, certainly. But the professional networking app says the fastest growing job title in the country right now, the fastest growing job title is artificial intelligence engineer.
Oh.
That's fascinating, isn't it? Sounds like it.
Can the Packers pull off an upset on Sunday in Philadelphia? ESPN Wisconsin's Jason Wilde joins us from Green Bay. The practice week is underway. We'll check in with Wilde after this.
Creative Planning presents Rethink Your Money with John Higginson, Saturday afternoon at 2. Join John each week as he challenges financial advice you've been given and reaffirms what you know to be true. If your financial plan doesn't include taxes, insurance, estate planning, and investing, it's incomplete and you can't afford to miss out. At Creative Planning, we provide all the expertise, all the advice you need, all in-house. To learn more, visit creativeplanning.com/radio.
Is outdoor living limited at your place? Well, imagine a deck, a patio, pergola, fire pit, maybe even an outdoor kitchen in your yard. Outdoor Living Unlimited is a local, family-owned company that consults, designs, and builds these things. They're the best. Let them make Outdoor Living Unlimited in your yard like they did in ours. We are Wisconsin. We live outdoors as much as possible. Make the most of it with help from Outdoor Living Unlimited. See OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. As you probably know, when you buy one dinner, you get a second dinner free every night at the historic Fox and Hound Supper Club. That's incredible. Well, through January 15th, when you buy a $100 gift card, you get a $20 gift card free. Buy $250, get $50 free. Buy $500 in gift cards, get $125 in free gift cards. Incredible bargains. Business owners, managers, Fox and Hound's gift cards make perfect year-round gifts because everyone loves a free dinner. When you buy one dinner, you get one free. That offer is like when you buy one gift card, getting a second gift card for free. Your company will save hundreds of dollars and your employees will truly appreciate you. It's a great place. Festive, fun, delicious food. If you didn't have your company party in December, have it in January at the Fox and Hounds. Half of your employee dinners are free. The Fox and Hounds, just off Highway 167 near Holy Hill. Order your free gift cards at foxandhoundsrestaurant.com. It's the famous Fox and Hounds.
It's Wednesday, which means it's time for Flanner's Home Entertainment Football Fix with Greg Matzik and Jessica Ty.
And you had a complete failure from every level of the coaching staff in a game that the Packers looked disinterested in playing. Like, that was my frustration. It was a complete flop on the home field in their last home game of the year.
Here on Wisconsin's Midday News.
For a football fix, it's sponsored by Flanner's Home Entertainment, sound advice at the best price. Just press play. Eagles head coach Nick Sirianni.
At the end of the day, though, I see a really well-coached, fundamentally sound football team.
That is Eagles head coach Nick Sirianni. Perhaps he hasn't reviewed the game tape of the Packers' losses to the Vikings and Bears.
I thought there was a lot of things within our own control in terms of playing with fundamentals and discipline that we did not do a very good job of, and that was disappointing. It just was sloppy football.
Matt LaFleur not happy with the fundamentals. Nick Sirianni believes they are a fundamentally sound team. There we go. First storyline, Nick Sirianni is not giving any attention to the Packers. Therefore, the Packers will win.
Is he just being nice?
I think so.
Saying, is that what the coaches do? They don't want to say, that team sucked on Sunday.
No one is more fluent and understanding of coach speak than ESPN Wisconsin's Jason Wilde. Wilde and Tausch, 9 to noon on ESPN Wisconsin. Wilde joins us every week. Hi, Jason.
Well, first of all, Jessica nailed that. Every coach says that exact same phrase. I see a well-coached, fundamentally sound football team even when they don't. So she's exactly right. Also, Sammy Hagar, Eagles fly. Gina, you are a genius. Outstanding. She's going to be my new DJ for all of my appearances across all of our Good Karma stations officially.
We are always in the dark, and I was impressed. And she has a smile on her face back there. She knows what she did. She knows what she did.
Yeah, I love Sammy Hagar.
So I was going back and watching like a little highlight reel of game number 1 of the regular season in Brazil. And my takeaways in that game, Jason, were neither team looked like they did anything during the preseason, right? I mean, it was sloppy. There were interceptions. The door was open really for both teams to kind of seize control. The Packers actually got off to a lead. And you also had Christian Watson catching a touchdown and Jair Alexander with an interception. And my takeaway was, well, this really doesn't mean much. It was week one. It was a foreign country, and two of the Packers' stars and starting players aren't going to be available for this game on Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, the foreign country part, that won't be an issue. It'll just be in Philadelphia, which I've had some great experiences in Philadelphia. I'll leave it at that. In terms of what you observed, though, you're exactly right. Like, those two players made key plays in that game, and neither one of them will be playing for them on Sunday. Look, these teams are both very different than they were in week one. I think we heard Matt LaFleur talking about it on Monday. I mean, their defense is completely different. They have been far better defensively than they were during the first half of the season. They are 14-3 for a reason. I understand, they've been without Jalen Hurts, their starting quarterback. It will have been 21 days since he played, assuming he starts the game on Sunday because of the concussion he suffered 3 weeks ago. But this is a really good football team, and I think the Packers are rightfully underdogs, and it's going to be really difficult for them to win. They can win. I'm not sure they will.
We now know Packers wide receiver Christian Watson has a season-ending torn ACL. What is your take on the impact that's going to have? Because I feel like there's two different camps on this one.
What are the two camps?
Well, some people are saying, he was in and out and maybe didn't do that much for us this season. Is this much different? And then other people are like, oh, my goodness, he's out and this is not good.
Group 2 is the right one. I mean, I don't disagree that he did have some injury issues during the course of the season, but certainly not to the degree that he had in previous years. I thought he was much healthier. I think sometimes he was the forgotten man in this passing game. But, you saw him make some huge plays for them. You also know, if those fans who don't think it's a big deal have done a little bit of research, no defense in the NFL gave up fewer big plays of 20 yards or more in the passing game than the Philadelphia Eagles. They were the best in the league at preventing big plays in the passing game. So they're already good at that, and now your big play receiver is done for the year. So I think that's problematic. There's no two ways about it. I think that he is going to be missed. He did not have to play in the game last Sunday. He wanted to play. He convinced the coaches that if he practiced on Friday that they should consider letting him play. Then Romeo Doubs showed up on the injury report on Saturday with an illness, wasn't able to play on Sunday. They chose to play Christian, and then he went out there and tore his ACL. If we had a time machine with Marty McFly and Doc Brown, we would go back and say, you know what? We don't need either one of those guys to play in this game. So just because Romeo's out doesn't mean we're going to play Christian. They're both going to be inactive. This is what Matt LaFleur could have said. We'll go with 4 wide receivers in the game, and we'll make it work. And then Christian Watson would be playing. Now, would he have suffered this ACL injury in practice? Was it a ticking time bomb? I'm not a doctor. I don't know. But I know this. I like their chances a lot better against the Eagles if he's playing than if he's not. And we know that he's not only not going to play on Sunday, but he's not going to be ready for the start of the regular season. The timeline just will not allow it given the timing of his injury. You're looking at him not being back until probably November at the earliest. So it is a really, really bad deal for Christian, and it hurts the team as well.
So the Packers have 2 roster spots available, Jason, because of the injuries. Jair Alexander's on injured reserve. Christian Watson is done for the season, as we've noted. How do you expect them to fill those spots? Just from within, or are they hunting a little bit?
No, they're looking at all their options, but you know this as well as anybody, Greg. Like on January, 7th, 8th, whatever today is, the 8th. It's not like there's a bunch of guys that are available that you can fill holes with. I mean, I suppose you go out and get OBJ, right? He's unemployed. Somebody released him late in the season, but I think it was Baltimore or Miami, whoever it was. I think it's unrealistic that you're going to find meaningful help out there now at this point in the year. It's going to have to be from within. And look, from a wide receiver perspective, we've touted all season long how deep they are. We saw Malik Heath make a fantastic play in the game on Sunday against the Bears. So they're going to have to find guys that are already in their system, on their team, that can rise up and come through for them on Sunday to help out the cause. But again, they would be way better if they had Jair Alexander and Christian Watson, and they won't have either one of them at Lincoln Financial Field.
And Jason, what about Jordan Love? He injured his elbow in the game versus the Bears. How's that elbow doing?
Yeah, it looks like he's practicing today, which is obviously a good sign. Matt LaFleur told us after the game that he was going to be able to take part in practice, that he could have gone back into the game if they really needed him to. But it is interesting that the Packers did not leave practice open for the individual drill work today before the start of the regular portion of practice. Usually us reporters, and I don't get to go on Wednesdays because they start while the show is still going on, but usually you watch stretch and then the media goes outside to watch drills. And they did not get to do that today. They only watched stretch. So if you want to think that there's some subterfuge going on there, you certainly can. But it is interesting that no one is getting to see how he throws the football today in drill work.
Very interesting. Yeah, very interesting stuff.
What does that mean?
It's going to be an interesting week here, right, as we approach Sunday's game. Regardless of what happens on Sunday, we will talk to Jason Wilde again next week on Wednesday, hopefully looking ahead to the Packers game against the Lions, because that's who they would face if they would earn a win. I'm not ready to talk offseason just yet. ESPN Wisconsin's Jason Wilde and Tausch, 9 to noon on ESPN Wisconsin. Wilde, always appreciate it. Thank you so much.
All right, everybody. Take care. Be good.
Yep, you do the same. Jason Wilde joins us each and every week. Flanner's Football Fix. We bring it to you every Wednesday. Sound advice at the best price. Just press play.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
Elizabeth and John bought their starter home 8 years ago, BC, as in before children. Now, with 2 elementary school-age kids, they wanted to make a move to the suburbs for a bigger home with more yard. But they didn't know if or how they could buy their next home without selling their current one. Fortunately, a friend who was a multi-time AccuNet client connected them with us, and we soon determined they could, in fact, afford to buy without selling first, which was a big relief to them and their real estate agent. Armed with an AccuNet rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval, it still took several weeks to find the right home for the next chapter in their life. But I'm happy to report that Elizabeth, John, and their boys opened their presents on Christmas morning in their new home after closing just a few days before. Whether you're buying your first home or your next home, go with the pros who have all the tools and know-how to make your home buying experience as smooth and successful as humanly possible. Get started with your rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval by clicking on the blue button at AccuNet.com. That's ACCUNET.com.
Hey, Wisconsin, Greg Matzik here for Holiday Automotive in Fond du Lac. Team Holiday. They got the New Year's sale going on. So if there's a new Chevrolet, Buick, or GMC in your future, connect with Holiday. Find the one that's right for you from their expansive inventory. Stack it with their low, simplified price. You'll get more for your trade. Pair it all up with the season's best offers. There you go. Put it all together. You'll be ready to take the roads this winter with a little confidence. Here's another great option, a GM-certified pre-owned model. How about peace of mind benefits like 2 factory-backed warranties, scheduled maintenance, courtesy transportation, roadside assistance? It's all included. Driving a GM-certified from Holiday? That's a no-brainer. Got to appreciate Team Holiday's welcoming, friendly, and genuine guest care. It is the stuff that delights and makes fans of drivers from all over fans like me and thousands of others who drive Holiday, Wisconsin's #1 Buick and GMC dealer. So find yours and discover the difference at Holiday, Chevrolet, Buick, and GMC. It's Highway 41 and 23 in Fond du Lac. You can also visit them online at holidaygm.com. Holiday Automotive. It's worth the trip.
So how do you underpromise and still get the job? We believe in our hearts we're going to do great work for you. We're just really careful about making unrealistic promises. At Semperfi, we refuse to set the bar higher than we can jump, but be assured that's the goal, to do all we can to jump as high as possible to try to exceed your expectations. We're looking to break records. That's how you win over customers, get really great referrals, and build a great business. When you're making a decision to hire an exterior remodeling company, character, integrity, and the feeling that the people you're about to hire are truly eager to show you how good they are should stand at the top of your list. This is Brad Youngluth with Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior modeling company. For your new roof, siding, window and door installation, or masonry work, you can count on Semper Fi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semper Fi.
Now, about your house. Eric Brown is the president of Siding Unlimited, your contractor for new windows, roofing, siding, decks, and a whole lot more. He knows about your house. So what do you know, Eric?
Siding is what pops on your home. Clean lines, beautiful accents, and wonderful colors can make your home really look amazing. Homeowners are always looking to add curb appeal when buying new siding, and a well-installed product from Siding Unlimited will definitely deliver a grand appeal. There is so much more to gain from replacing your siding other than the curb appeal you're already seeking. There is so much value in having new siding with low maintenance. Just an annual cleaning with the hose is all you really need to do. You can't get much lower maintenance than that. The process of replacing siding gives homeowners a fresh start, a new understanding knowing that we can peel back the old stuff and get a real in-depth inspection on the walls on your home and the structural integrity. How has the home performed over the past 20 years? We'll see it all when removing the old siding. There's a high percentage your home is missing the most important factor in siding a home, and that's a working water barrier. Many homes built in the 1990s and prior don't have a water barrier beneath the siding, and homes that were built in the 90s that do have one probably have a water barrier that was installed incorrectly. New siding replacement assures us that we install the water barrier correctly and protect the home moving forward. Our process always includes adding insulation board to the wall. This gives you a water barrier underlayment and additional R value, which is an energy coefficient, so warmer walls, adding more value to the project than the expected curb appeal. As the new siding goes back on, we know your home will be ready to manage water well into the future and look amazing doing so.
Eric and his crews at Siding Unlimited are your go-to contractor here for siding and also replacement windows, roofing, and decks. Take the next step. Check them out at sidingunlimited.com. Siding Unlimited, siding and a whole lot more.
It's 12:31. I'm Greg Matzik. This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Wednesday, January 8th. Your top story, drivers unhurt after crashing into a library.
And we're looking ahead to the Packers in the playoffs. I'm Jessica Ty.
Increasing clouds today, chance of flurries and a high of 24. Partly cloudy tonight, a low of 14. Clouds return on Thursday with a high of 30. 21 degrees and cloudy in Milwaukee at 12:31 from the WTMJ breaking newsroom. A car chase leads to a crash that damages a library. Milwaukee County sheriffs were conducting surveillance at a home near 2nd and Lloyd to find a 36-year-old man wanted for burglary. That man fled the home just after 1:30 in the afternoon. Officers then chased. The suspect ran a red light at MLK and Locust on the north side, hit another vehicle, and eventually crashed into the library construction entrance right there in the corner. A 23-year-old construction worker inside the building was hurt. He is okay. The drivers of both vehicles were not hurt, but there was serious damage to the vehicles. Charges are pending.
A vehicle goes through the ice in Shawano County. Officers responded around 6:30 Tuesday morning for a van in Shawano Lake. The driver was able to get out of the van but left the area. Deputies eventually found the driver. The person said they went out on Shawano Lake to deliver food to someone who was ice fishing. The driver was taken to the hospital for evaluation and later arrested on an unrelated matter. The van is still stuck in the lake.
Plans for a new state office building on Milwaukee's west side are growing. Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel reporting proposals for the site at 27th and Wisconsin have grown to 72,000 square feet of offices for several Wisconsin agencies, including the Departments of Administration, Revenue, and Workforce Development. The building will be privately owned and leased to the state. Proposals for the site are due by the end of February.
Drinking any kind of alcohol could increase your risk of cancer. President of the Medical College of Wisconsin, Dr. John Raymond, discusses the U.S. Surgeon General's new health advisory.
What we know in the long term is that alcohol is associated with the risk of 8 different types of cancer, like bladder cancer, cancer of the lips and mouth, cancer of the esophagus, the stomach, the intestine, the colon, and surprisingly, breast cancer.
Dr. Raymond says the cancer risk starts with a single drink of alcohol per week, meaning the more you drink, the higher the risk.
Play for people of all ages and abilities. Director of the Ability Center, Damian Buchman, tells Spanning the State the first universal park is coming in Wauwatosa with accessibility for the able-bodied and those in need of assistance.
We are actually building things and designing things with our partner Game Time that have never been designed before. This is a little bit of a tease. I can't really talk about it because it's still under wraps. But we're on the third rendition of something that kids have never been able to experience on a playground as wheelchair users.
Bookman says once the park is fully completed, the playground, fitness center, woods, and bathrooms will all be universally accessible.
Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 12:34.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. Painting is the easiest way to breathe new life into your home. I know because we did it with Certa Pro Painters. Each Certa Pro Painters business is independently owned and operated. Let the pros there help you choose the right color to your home. You're going to love it for years to come. Call your neighborhood Certa Pro Painter. Ask about their color consultation services. Schedule your free estimate online at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. When choosing a painting professional, the choice is simple. Choose happy. Choose Certa Pro Painters.
When you work at St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores, you'll be helping us help others. There are many that need our help, and we need your help to carry out our mission. St. Vincent de Paul is always looking for part-time team members. You'll get competitive pay, benefits, and flexibility in scheduling. So apply online at svdpmilw.org or stop by Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, or 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Between all the holiday parties,
weekend tailgates,
and family get-togethers,
we've been overindulging a little more than usual over the holidays. But now, we are starting the new year off on a healthier note by taking Active Liver supplements from New Nordic every day.
Active Liver contains a powerful blend of turmeric, milk thistle, and globe artichoke extract. All natural ingredients that help protect the liver so that it can protect you from toxins. It's like giving my body a daily detox. I've never felt better and my energy is through the roof.
And my doctor is already impressed with how much better my numbers are looking. So if better health, more energy, and detoxing your body are some of your priorities this year, get Active Liver today and start the year off knowing you're giving your liver some well-deserved relief.
Active Liver is available in both tablets and as a delicious gummy. You can find Active Liver in stores at your local CVS or online at Amazon or NewNordicUSA.com.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. Jordan Love is practicing for the Packers today, just getting things rolling. Not sure exactly how much he'd be able to do today with that injured elbow. Packers traveling to Philadelphia this weekend to play the Eagles on Sunday in the wild card round of the playoffs. Dallas Cowboys blocked the Bears' request to speak with Mike McCarthy about the head coaching vacancy in Chicago. And the Bucs take to the home floor tonight against the San Antonio Spurs. Coverage gets underway at 8 o'clock on WTMJ.
Let's go ahead right now and get you an update on the roads with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic. We've really had a good morning / early afternoon here, and it's looking like much of the same. The only incidents we have are way up in the Fond du Lac area, and that's just a disabled vehicle. It's a semi. It's off to the side of the road, but there's not a lot of traffic out there, and it's not causing many problems.
Might see some flurries flying around later today. Clouds are going to be on the increase, starting to make its way through to downtown Milwaukee. The sun of about an hour ago, that's all but gone right now. High of about 28 degrees, overnight low of 14. Tomorrow we get up to 30. Next chance for snow appears to be on Friday. Nothing significant, however. Right now in Milwaukee, it is 21 degrees and cloudy at 12:37. For the latest happening in Washington, D.C. on Capitol Hill and other parts around the country, we welcome CBS correspondent. It's Scott McFarland on WTMJ. Hi, Scott.
You're digging deeper. Not deep enough, but you're digging deeper.
Dang it.
The boys were preteens and teenagers in 1990 when they did Crazy. They were never heard from again.
That was it, huh? Just truly a one-hit wonder, huh?
It sounds familiar, but not too familiar.
That was the high water mark. But you're also talking about like January 1990. You're going back to the very start of the decade.
Okay, early 90s. Yeah, Gina played this, and I had no idea what it was. We are in the dark, just as you, Scott, when we begin this segment. We let our producer just drive the train on it. And Jessica and I just sort of looked at each other like, I don't know what this is. But Scott
I knew all of them initially until about last week. But then, Scott, you're on it. I can't wait, though. I don't want you to be wrong, but I just can't wait to find out what you don't get right.
Everything else in life.
Yeah.
That's what I don't get right.
Hey, Scott, how was your snow day? As everything was sort of reconvening and the vote for a House Speaker was going through, were you at home or were you on Capitol Hill?
No, we were here, but you would laugh at us. I mean, this is a mild storm by Milwaukee standards. It was 8 inches, but because the roads are so overloaded, because traffic volumes are way bigger than the old Washington, D.C. streets can handle, it's just impassable. And people can't get around. You know, those of us who knew we were covering the Capitol Monday, pre-positioned in hotels nearby because even a 30-mile drive is impossible. And the members of Congress stayed in town this weekend so as not to miss the January 6th certification by Donald Trump. A lot of Republicans didn't want to say they were absent.
Scott, we have to ask. There are a lot of people who woke up this morning and were checking out what President-elect Donald Trump was talking about. And he's talking about Greenland. And people are like, is this for real? Does Trump really want Greenland and the Panama Canal so badly? And why?
It's not feasible. It's not logistically possible. So let's put aside the reality of that promise. I mean, the Democrats, including Pete Aguilar, who is the chairman of the Democratic caucus in the House, say this is classic Trump distraction. He's saying these things so that you don't pay attention to what's in the other hand. And at this moment, what's in the other hand? Well, a couple things. He's about to embark on mass pardons of violent insurrectionists, and he's going to do it just days after the January 6th tributes here in Washington, which is tough for some people to stomach, tough for a lot of people to stomach. He's also still got that legal issue in New York. He's got a sentencing in New York City, which will not lead to jail time, but will lead to a lot of embarrassment for him. That's later this week. The more he talks about Greenland and Panama, the more he satisfies some parts of his base, but also distracts.
So we shouldn't read too much into this?
The Gulf of America, what a beautiful name. And it's appropriate.
We don't think there's going to be a change in the name? The Gulf of Mexico is not going away?
Well, here's what's for sure. There are going to be Republicans who author legislation immediately to pass a law to rename the Gulf of Mexico the Gulf of America. Doing that is actually wildly bureaucratic. There are many, many federal agencies that have oversight over the naming of geographical parts of America or of the Western Hemisphere. It's difficult to do that. Could such a bill pass a Republican Congress? Yeah, it's possible. That seems feasible. To what end, I don't know, but they did in the Obama administration rename Mount McKinley in Alaska to Denali. Took legislative effort, maybe, took a little work through the bureaucracy to make that happen. It's feasible. This could happen here, too.
Well, now I see people who want to rename Lake Michigan Lake Wisconsin.
Yeah, there you go.
I mean, the talk
like
is
that.
just, it's going.
Well, let me tell you, I've spent enough time in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan to totally lose my bearings on whether it's Packers fans, Lions fans, people who wish they were in Wisconsin or wish they were in Michigan. I don't know what's going on. You all have a better read on that situation than me, but renaming Lake Michigan as Lake Wisconsin would be the gesture of the 21st century. Yes. It would be the all-time move.
It would be amusing.
Yeah,
Not
we're Midwesterners, right? Yeah. We're friendly like that. Maybe we'll just do it, alternate it year after year. You mentioned, Scott, that you've got this issue in the other hand for Donald Trump. He lost a round in the New York State appellate courts. Trump now wants the Supreme Court to step in to prevent his Friday sentencing and then a hush money case. What do you think is going to happen here?
Well, the judge has already said he can't issue a prison sentence. The judge in New York has said these charges warrant a prison sentence. These are felonies, 34 of them, but that he can't practicably because it's the president-elect. You can't send the president-elect to prison, or you can't have that hanging over his head for 4 years as he serves as president. So that's off the table. Probation's off the table. What's left? There's maybe the issuances of fines or revocations of some rights in the state of New York. Unclear, but I think it's unequivocally embarrassing to stand for sentencing as a felon days before you take the office as president. And the timing of all this, that's on Trump for delaying everything as far and as heavily as he could. He has pushed this back up against his inauguration. It wasn't the judge's choice or the prosecutor's choice. That was a successful mission in the criminal cases in D.C., where delay helped make those cases go away. But in Manhattan, the clock is ticking because he hit the snooze button a few times.
Scott, coming up on Friday here, we're going to have the Supreme Court hearing the TikTok ban that there's been so much talk about. And speaking of the president-elect, Donald Trump, initially he wanted a ban. Now he doesn't. He's like, why would I want TikTok to go away? It certainly helped him in the election. So he's asking basically the justices to delay this. Will Donald Trump possibly save TikTok?
He may not be empowered to. This is a tricky one, too. Keep in mind, if you don't like hypocrisy in politics, if that really outrages you, this one's really going to fluster you, because Congress overwhelmingly, in a bipartisan fashion, passed a law in April to do this, to shut down TikTok unless they're sold by their China-based owner, ByteDance. And they did this in the snap of a finger. To try to backtrack over a bipartisan passed bill and say now it's not a good idea, but that's going to reek of hypocrisy. And the only thing that has changed between now and then is Trump's election. And Trump, who once himself supported a ban, saying those China-based owners are a threat to U.S. security, is the reason why it's being revisited. But it's not that simple, because he can't do it unilaterally. This was a law passed by Congress and signed by President Biden. He would need the legislature to get involved if the courts don't stop this. And it's far from clear to me how this many Republicans who months ago said this is a great law, it's a threat to security, changed their tune. Boy, that's going to be hypocritical, and it's going to bug some folks.
Well, hypocrisy has been sort of part of this story going back to last year. I mean, President Biden signed a bill, was April maybe of 2024, that could lead to sort of this ultimate ban of TikTok as we're talking about it. And that was about 2 months after he launched his own TikTok account. I believe he launched it on the Super Bowl. So you've had the existing president, Joe Biden, sort of flip in his stance. You've had President Trump sort of flip as he has used TikTok to leverage younger voters. It's been kind of hypocrisy from the start.
Everything that touches this is hypocritical. These people who voted to ban TikTok often have TikTok accounts. I mean, I don't know what else to say other than they use the platform, but say the platform should be outlawed. There's hypocrisy in everything that touches Washington, D.C. Some of us get a little bit numb to it or desensitized, but this one, if you don't like hypocrisy, don't read about what's happening next with TikTok, because everybody's doing a 180 all of a sudden, and everybody has fingerprints on the hypocrisy on TikTok.
Well, and it's going to be really interesting to watch this and see what the decision is, because for some people, it's just fun. It's fun to do the dancing videos or watch the dancing videos or watch this and that. But for other people, I mean, we talked with a local guy here in Milwaukee, a small business owner who you could also call him a Milwaukee influencer, but he gets like 46% of his income from sponsored content that is oftentimes connected to TikTok. And there's some people, these small business owners across the country, who get like 100% of their income from this now. So for some people, this could have a big impact.
It's interesting you mention that, because when TikTok is here in Washington lobbying to save itself, it puts forward not its executives, but those small businesses that make their money off the platform. You're going to make these small businesses go broke, Congress, if you ban this. That's what they tried. It wasn't successful, but it was their strategy to spotlight people like that. But the argument here remains the same. No matter how successful and how much of an economic jolt TikTok provides, it does so by providing private data to people tethered to the Chinese Communist Party. And that is deemed a national security risk. And that has not changed over the past few months. If it was a risk then, it's a risk now. If they turn about and change their strategy on TikTok, it doesn't mean the national security concerns have been buttoned up.
Real quick, Scott, before we let you go, I just saw that Dana White, UFC founder and president, is now a board of directors member for Meta. We had Mark Zuckerberg commenting just yesterday on how they're trying to make things a little tighter, make sure that the spread of information is controlled on Facebook. I thought it was curious that Dana White, certainly a Trump supporter, is joining forces now with Meta, and Mark Zuckerberg mentioned we need President Trump's help. We need to work together on this.
It's a pretty controversial move by Facebook to cozy up to Trump in the last 24 hours. Not just putting Dana White on its board, but getting rid of content moderation and the flagging of false information by Facebook. That's something Trump has been keen on getting on all social platforms. I don't know if that's going to turn away customers from Facebook or attract them, but it has attracted the attention of Democrats in Congress who say, what is Facebook doing unilaterally taking away protections against conspiracy theories and potentially violent or misogynistic messages on its platform.
Scott, I was curious, too, just your thoughts as we look ahead to tomorrow and Jimmy Carter's funeral.
The services here at the Capitol have quite long lines, considering it's about negative 1,000 degrees outside here. There's a good crowd here to watch, to walk by and pay their respects to Carter, who, by the way, his casket is sitting on a wooden plank that was used for Abraham Lincoln's services in 1865.
Wow.
Tomorrow's at the National Cathedral, a funeral service that will have President Biden speaking and President-elect Trump in the audience. Hopefully that's not a distraction from the services and the honors for the oldest ever living U.S. president who, as we've heard over the last few weeks, has quite a legacy.
CBS congressional correspondent and lover of all things 90s R&B joins us every week here on Wisconsin's Midday News. It's Scott McFarland from Washington, D.C. Scott, we appreciate your time. We'll check it again next week.
Thanks, Scott. Right back at you. Thanks, man.
You bet. Take care. 12:49 on WTMJ. We'll wrap up the program with some final thoughts after this.
Spas. The Swim Spa Hot Tub and Sauna Show is this weekend only inside the arena at the Waukesha County Fairgrounds. Millions of inventory must be sold. Prices are slashed up to 60% off retail, so save thousands. Save big on new hot tubs, spas, and saunas. Also cold tubs. Plus, see the Michael Phelps Signature Swim Spas by Master Spas.
Hi, I'm Michael Phelps. Join the swimming revolution.
The Swim Spa Hot Tub and Sauna Show this weekend only inside the arena at the Waukesha County Fairgrounds. Visit 800spasale.com.
Helping people and families seriously injured in accidents and standing up for victims to take the burden off their shoulders. It's WTMJ's Greg Matzik. Want to tell you about Gruber Law Offices. If you've been hurt in an accident, you make the call to Gruber. Let them focus on handling the legal aspects of your case while you focus on healing. That's what you want to be doing. It's gruber-law.com. Learn more about this family-run firm that's been doing great work in Wisconsin for 40 years and giving back to the community. Top priority for Gruber. You see David all over the place. Sporting events, commercials, billboards, you name it, really standing behind what he says. It really is a one-call, that's-all situation with Gruber. Make that call if you've been hurt in an accident to 414-276-6666.
Eggland's Best, the only eggs with more fresh and delicious taste, plus superior nutrition. Eggland's Best, better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
Shop the January New Year's sale on better quality furniture and mattresses at Ken Michaels Furniture.
Ow! Sweetie, come here. Don't worry. I see a lot of patients with the exact same thing.
Ever since the ice skating rink went in next door?
Or is it more than
Dr. Clark's business is heating up.
So many patients need my help. How will I find time to see all of them?
They need to hire a scheduler, stat.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Ooma. What was that? That is business phone bliss with the Ooma Cloud Phone System. It handles all our voice, video, and messaging needs.
You sound very...
Calm, I am. Ooma has everything I need to run my business more efficiently, like virtual receptionist, call routing, and video conferencing. And it starts at just $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Nice. Find your business comm at ooma.com/radio.
You're right, and I'll agree. It does sound too good to be true, but offering you affordable treatment that alleviates pain, which really does work, that we've seen in most cases insurance paid for in full, is a definite reality. It's pain relief, really. And these are FDA-approved treatments. They're safe and proven to reduce inflammation and alleviate pain. Yeah, you'll have to get a couple of shots, and I know that can scare people. But the needle is extremely small. And after giving shots like this hundreds of thousands of times, you'll see we make it very easy. You're going to feel the relief that our powerful pain relief agents give you. They're pain relief drugs that solve pain problems. And the way I feel is that Rejuvenex should be the first stop for anyone living with pain in shoulders, hips, elbows, and knees. At $65 per joint, per injection, it's probably the most affordable pain relief option available that actually works.
Rejuvenex. Alleviate your pain. Rejuvenate your life.
Rejuvenex Google reviews will tell you more.
Clouds rolling in. Temperatures will top out in the mid-20s today. Overnight low of 14. Might see some flurries flying around today as well. High of 30 on Thursday. 31 chance of snow on Friday. 21 degrees, cloudy in Milwaukee at 12:53. The imagery out of California is unbelievable. I don't know if we've tried to do it justice here on the program today with Alex Stone, who is in Altadena, California, and some reports in our top of the hour newscasts, in our three big things, and are now at noon, now reporting that at least 2 people have been killed and a significant number of injuries in the Eaton fire. This is one of 4 life-threatening fires that is destroying homes, prompting tens of thousands in the area to evacuate across Los Angeles County. And stretching emergency workers to their limits. So they cannot keep up as you've got these winds that are still, 40 to 50 miles per hour, 80 to 100 miles an hour in the overnight hours, fanning these flames, spreading the embers. You can't keep up if you're trying to treat the fires.
Well, not only can they not keep up, but these firefighters, they are not fighting fires at the homes. They can't do it. What they're doing now is they're just trying to make sure that we don't have a 5th fire and that the next neighborhood doesn't go up in flames. I mean, this is a totally different ballgame. They're not at one house trying to get the flames out or at this house. And when we talked with Alex, he's out there in the thick of it. He's standing on a road, and on one side he has homes burning down. On the other side, homes burning down. There were some people that were trying to escape who got in their cars and all of a sudden realized, we can't do this. We have to get out of their cars, jumped out of their cars, and just ran down the road. I mean, imagine the panic that those people are feeling.
The imagery that you'll see on social media if you search on this, there's a California woman who watched her neighborhood burn through her Ring doorbell camera. She was able to evacuate and get out, but then went to her Ring doorbell camera and just saw everything in her area engulfed in flames. Meanwhile, authorities are warning that the conditions and the strong winds are expected to worsen. That's the other part of this. It's not getting any better. And Los Angeles County residents are certainly in danger. This area around the Rose Bowl, Pasadena, that's kind of the Palisades area. You've got other areas near Malibu where Christian Yelich and Ryan Braun, former member of the Brewers, current member of the Brewers, currently live. And some of the still imagery and video, it is absolutely devastating and startling.
There was one video I was watching this morning when I got up, and it was 2 men inside a home, and obviously one of the guys was the homeowner, and the other one was saying, I'm so sorry, we tried our best, but it was the moment that they realized they can no longer stay in that house, and they had to get the heck out of there, and then they're looking at the trees, a tree that had just went on fire. You have to think about the embers, too. I mean, these embers are just flying. They're going everywhere. They go down in a house, and then boom, that house is up in the air, too. And now that was the moment that they knew they had to leave.
Devastating disaster currently happening in California. We'll keep you updated throughout the day here on Wisconsin's Afternoon News when they take over at 3 o'clock. News coming up after this, then it's Spanning the State.
The Upswing is your place for commerce and community.
What are the impacts of just the constantly escalating housing costs in this market and all other markets?
Hosted by Jeff Sherman.
This has real effects on real people's lives. People's rents go up every year. People can't find an affordable starter home. People can't downsize. We need to change something.
Weekdays from 10 to 11 on WTMJ. Presented by Horicon Bank, the natural choice for all your banking needs.